Like, I watched Yellowstone, and when I found out that Beth Dutton really didn't talk like that, it really owned me, and I couldn't. So, on the set of Walking Dead, when Andrew Lincoln is talking, did he go in and out of the British to Rick, or did he stay Rick while you were on the set?
No, it was funny. He stayed in his southern accent. He wouldn't do like method acting, but he stayed in his southern accent pretty much any time he would talk to me, the rest of the cast, anybody else, and he would only ever do like his British accent in front of like me or anyone else when he was doing like interviews. He was like showing it off or something, you know. But to me, it was weird hearing him with his like normal British accent.
I can't watch Yellowstone to this day.
Yeah.
After that, I can't. Like, just
Yeah.
As I said, I love it. It's right.
I don't know if you actually grew your hair out that long or if it was a wig, but do you miss the hair?
I don't. No. It was my actual hair, yes. But actually, I wanted my hair to be long. I just like having long hair for some reason. But yeah, I'm cutting it off. I was like, wow, it's not blazingly hot anymore. Like, I'm saving so much money on shampoo and conditioner. I think this is really great. Yeah. Yeah, it was my actual hair, and I was very happy to. Well, it was weird. It was very bittersweet getting rid of it. But for a movie that I did around the same time as I did Only, they wanted me to cut it into a mullet, and so I had it in a mullet, and afterwards I was like, okay, this is not going to work. I just got to get the mullet in, and kind of forced my hand. But yeah.
You go next. Maybe you next.
So I know that you've had a wonderful experience in playing as Carl in The Walking Dead. I wanted to know, what was the hardest scene, both physically and mentally, for you to film? Whether it be one or two scenes separately.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I feel like the scene where Carl's mother dies or is to kill his mom. That was probably one of the hardest scenes for me to do, just because it took us so long to shoot that sequence. It took us like 2 or 3 days of filming, and it was over my 13th birthday, so it was like kind of the worst 13th birthday I could ask for. Yeah, but yeah, that was it was definitely pretty rough. It was just nonstop crying. It was like, you know, I loved working with Sarah and the woman who played Lori. So yeah, it was pretty sad, but. Physically, I don't know about I didn't have to do very many stunts or like anything really that crazy on the show. There was actually one scene in season 7, and oh man, it was I don't know if you guys remember the episode where it's like I think the iconic moment was like Rick and Michonne, they had like a cable between the cars they were driving, and they were like just destroying like the whole horde of So before all that, it's like they're like trying to move the cars out of the way and everything. And the thing is like we were so it was my character and Alana's character Tara. We were having to just push this one car, and the car wasn't on or anything because of audio, and so it was just they just put it in neutral and just took off the brake and just like push it uphill. And Greg and Tara, the director, we were pushing it as hard as we can, and it's so hot. Like it's like July, the sun is like beating down on it, and it's the hood of the car, which is really hot. And we're pushing it, and we're trying to like pat our hands with like our shirts and everything. And Greg, and Tara, the director, is like, "Push the car faster!" And we're like, "We're trying." And yeah, it was awful. We had burn marks on our hands, and we were just so dead tired. So that was probably the worst physical one, which is really not too bad compared to like the rest of the series. You know. Hi.
So, who do you believe is Judith's real father?
Oh boy.
The character of Carl, did he ever suspect the possibility that it might not have been her?
Oh boy. You know, I feel like Carl, like, he didn't understand at the time, but like looking, then I think he was. I think there was a scene in season 5. I'm trying to remember. It either got deleted or something. There was a scene between Rick and Carl. It was about Shane came up, and Carl basically just didn't even bother talking about it because at the end of the day, like, biological or not, like Rick is the one that was raising Judith and that she grew up with. So either way, that's her dad.
Do you know the show Hot Ones? And would you ever be on it?
Yes, I do know the show Hot Ones. I would love to be on it, but I think I would do so bad. I don't do great with spicy foods. They're not bad. I don't mind it, but I do not do great with spicy foods. He's a great interviewer too. You guys know the thing Hot Ones? It's so good. I love watching it.
So would you ever do a ride along with margaritas?
You know, I would love to. I just, I say just. It was like a couple years ago. Like I got a motorcycle license. I got a motorcycle, and I just ride it. Like I don't do anything crazy. It's just in LA. There's a couple of roads that are like kind of winding through the hills that I like to ride on, and it's a Harley Street 500, so it's not a super big thing. You know, it's a good one that I know I'm going to drop a couple times. You know, that I'm just going to learn with. But it's fun. I would love to be on the show. Because I talked with him a little bit here and there about just advice on like, buying bikes or things like that. But hopefully sometimes I'd love to be on the show. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
I know a lot of actors, some of them watch their movies, some don't. Another couple of years did different Walking Dead ones that I've done as far as the Expos, and some said they never watched it. Did you, and how did you watch it?
Yeah, well, I think every actor works differently. For me, I do like to check my work and make sure that everything that I'm wanting to do gets done. Because we don't get to watch like the dailies or anything like immediately after. We don't get to watch playback and like immediately see the work that we've done. So it's hard to make sure that what we're doing is working. So I do like to watch my stuff and kind of keep tabs on it. Like, okay, so I look back at my prep and I see the work that I did. Okay, so this didn't come through, so I need to adjust and do this more. And also, it's important with like the ending because ending is just such a big part of it. I'm like, okay, so why even though I had all of this work behind it, why did I get not as much time on the screen? Like, why did the editors cut away from me, more often? Was I just like not, was I just dead at some points? Do we need to fill up more spaces? So I do like to watch it just so I can keep an eye on everything. But yeah, some actors, they like just can't do it. Actually, Andy, the guy who played my dad, was like that. He didn't want to watch. Like anytime you would see anything with his face on it, he would like cover his eyes and look at it. He didn't even want to watch like the title sequence and like, what? It's actually really cool, dude. Watch the title sequence. It's like, no, we can't do it. Can't watch anything. So I don't know. Some actors are like that.
Go ahead.
Hi. I was wondering if you ever kept anything from the set.
Yeah, I see like on like Reddit about stories from time to time actors and stealing stuff from the set or something. It was always pretty locked down and we couldn't take much of anything from the set. But when I left the show, they did give me one of the hats that Andy wore in the first season, which was pretty cool. And then they gave me one of the like science dog shirts that my character wore in the first season. They had like 6 of them left over from 2010, and they gave me one of them, which was pretty cool. So I did get to keep those. I wanted to keep the holster, which would have been cool because I had that holster since like season 3. I really would have liked to have kept the actual hat that I wore, but those had to go in museums and that sorts of stuff. Like, sold by AMC to, you know, to whoever. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff, like the boots that I wore and the jeans and everything. Yeah, would be cool. But I think it keeps some stuff. It's better than nothing.
So I'm assuming that the filming was pretty grueling at times. What was like the turnaround times from set? Like were y'all working like 12 to 15-hour days? Did y'all get a lot of breaks in between? And then knowing that you started on the show so young, was there rules for like young minors and stuff for like certain hours you had to work before you had to take a certain amount of breaks? Like how did y'all work that out?
Yeah, the majority of the time working on the show, it was like 12 to 14-hour days, like pretty much every day. And how productions do usually, like throughout a work week, is, you know, Monday they'll have a call time be before, like the crew call is like a bit before sunrise, so they can start, you know, have an hour to set up and start shooting. And so crew call would be like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. sometimes, and then we wouldn't wrap until like, you know, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And that's because you have to have a 12-hour turnaround. You can work your crew for, you know, almost as long as you want. You have to give them 12 hours off. And if you don't, then you have to pay a whole bunch of fines and stuff. So what they would do is, yeah, they'd work them until about like 5 or 6 on Monday, call them in at 5 or 6 a.m. the next day, go until like 7 or 8, call them in at like 7 or 8 the next day, so on until Friday. And if we have any night shoots, then we have a call time at like noon, and then we'll shoot like all throughout the night that night until like, you know, wrap at like sunrise Saturday morning, and then back crew call at 4 a.m. on Monday. But luckily for me, I was a minor, so I only had to work 10 and a half hours. Yeah, so it was great. We'd be like, you know, about like 2/3 of the way through the day, and I'd be like checking the time, and I'd be like going to the AD, be like, I'm almost there, you know. But you know, from time to time, there'd be a lot of times where it's like we're just not going to get the scene done in time, and I'll just stay another like hour and a half, and I'll sign out at the time, and we'll just, you know, call it, and it'll be fine. But the tough thing with working with kids is that it's not only that you have that, like, it's like 9.5 if you're under 16, 10.5 when you turn 16. So not only that, but you have to have time for schooling as well. So if they miss 3 consecutive days of school days, then they have to do schooling on set. They have to have at least 3 hours of school, and they have to have an hour of lunch. So you're really only getting 4, like 5, maybe 6 hours of work out of a kid every day. So good thing is that my dad was our studio teacher, because he had taught special ed for 25 years. So he was our studio teacher, and we were kind of able to, because it was like an hour and a half commute down to the set every day, hour and a half back. I was able to do all my schoolwork to and from the set. So we would just log that as the time, and so I had more time to be able to work on set, more time to get more scenes, more shots, more setups. So that was all pretty important. But yeah, it was a lot of really long, really hot days in the sun, in the woods. It's a lot. Yeah.
Hello. I just want to say you were robbed, like you should have been in the whole thing. What was your favorite season? If you have one?
My favorite season. Yeah, probably, you know, season 4, I got to do a lot. It really let my character do a lot of really cool stuff. From, you know, the end of like the prison stuff to him kind of stepping up to, you know, being more than just a kid, to the whole infamous pudding episode. And then really becoming into, you know, stepping into more of an adult was really, really cool. And it wasn't just holding Judith for the whole season, so it was fun, you know, really getting to do a lot. They gave me a lot to do. It was a lot of fun. You got just a full of fun from start to finish. So, yeah, I'd say season 4 was great. Yeah.
So I have two questions actually. One, prior to being on The Walking Dead, did you ever read the comics?
Yeah, when I got the audition for the show, or the callback, I wanted to. I did read the comics. I don't think my parents read them first because I was, I was 10, and they're a little graphic for a 10-year-old. So, but yes, I did read the comics, and I was instantly hooked. I read the comics all the way through. Actually, it was really cool. I think it was issue 74 was when they like announced that of like the cast of the show, and they had my picture like in the back. They all like the cast photos, and I was in the back. And I went around. That comic came out while we were filming, so like I went around to like all the actors on the set and had them like sign their photos because I just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
So I think that kind of turns into my next question. What was your reaction to actually getting the role of Carl for The Walking Dead?
Oh man, I was. I mean, as any 10-year-old would react, I was like running around the house. I was like screaming. I was so happy. It was very, very stoked to get to be on something that cool and to just play just a cool character. I really, especially when I was that age, like I just loved getting to play a comic book character and like bring it to life. It was the coolest thing. Thank you.
You got time for one more question here, this lady here.
First of all, really glad to see you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Really, yeah, you're great. Number, let's have two questions. What are you working on now? Projects that you've got going on now. And number two, I'm curious about conventions. What makes you choose one convention over another? Do you like conventions? How do you decide?
So conventions, I've been doing them since I started on the show. There was actually someone here that had met me at my very first convention in December of like 2010, which was crazy. I don't think I see him here. But yeah, I've done hundreds, if not in thousands of conventions now over the 10 plus years. But yeah, I love coming to them, and I love meeting you guys and seeing why you guys love the characters that I've played and what makes you connect with them and how they've helped you through whatever you've gone through. That's all I ever want to do as an actor, as a creator, is make people connect to my work in some way, whether they're either screaming at the television at at the character, or if they're crying. Yeah, you know. So it's great. But in terms of choosing conventions, my parents they're the ones that kind of handle all of it. They keep track of all of them. They keep tabs on all of the conventions. So they're the ones that pick them for me.
Was it too much to like, was it a lot of working
No, because it was, I don't know, it was always just a part of like growing up was working, school, and conventions. Yeah, I like doing them, and yeah, they're fun.
What are you working on?
So I just wrapped on a film in February. It's called Breakup Season, so it's a rom-com, which is pretty fun to get to do that. Yeah, so it was my first time being like number one on the call sheet, being the main guy in every single scene. So that was really, really fun. I started a short film last year. It is similar. It's called The Undergraduate. It's just a stressful thing about a college student. And also last year I started a production company. I directed a short film, and it's pretty great. I've been editing and doing the sound and everything, almost done with it. And I directed a music video a few weeks ago that'll be out soon as well. So I'm trying to just stay very busy, doing lots of auditions at the same time, and voiceover stuff as I told you guys earlier about. So yeah, pretty excited. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so Chandler will be back in his booth, get autographs, get photos, but thank you so much for letting me be a part of
Great
this.
talking to you guys. Thank you so much.
Chandler,